How's it? Hang loose. Today is September 11th, 2020. That makes it the 19th anniversary of the bombing of the World Trade Center, the plane into the Pentagon, and the plane that ditched in Pennsylvania. Being made the Patriot Day. So if you follow that, Happy Patriot Day. I don't buy that. I do buy that, this is an attack on, got my little Statue of Liberty. When a friend who passed away a half a year ago. All of her statues have no heads on them. I think it's a demonic thing because she was under a lot of attacks herself. Well, let me tell you a story. I woke up. See, I was one of the last people probably on the planet who had a pager. Remember pagers? Pagers. First, only doctors had them. Then everybody had them. Then it was a little like all the drug dealers had pagers. And it would go beep, beep, beep and vibrate. And it would show a phone number or a code. So it's like 411, something. And you call, you find a phone. And then you call. And I always thought, wow. If you have your flip-flop phone, because smartphones weren't there yet, if you had your flip-flop phone and your pager, you're like a walking phone booth. God, have we advanced. Anyways, because the witch has such a long history with attacking me and taking over this household with basically an invasion, she occupied a phone line. Every time I'd call, she'd be on the phone. Every time my friends would call me, she would intercept the call and say, "He's not here." So I'd never get any phone calls. The beginnings of the witch. It's a control freak. Can of worms. So, the solution came up where I'd have a pager. So I was like the last person on earth to finally get a pager. So I'd get pages, and then I would use the phone. And she wouldn't know. And I would be able to communicate with the world. First line of defense, huh? First line to take on over somebody. Get their communications. So, sorry for the setup. I'm sleeping one night, and my pager goes off. That type of thing. I look at him like, who the hell is paging me? I already knew who was paging me because only one person would page me like odd hour. And there was a friend I had. He's still a Chip. Chip lives in Hawaii, but he was here for the longest time, but he had to move back to the mainland because money and job in Hawaii is mean about money. So he was working for this law type firm because that's what he worked for over here, kind of like the paralegal guy. And the law firm he had been working for had him on travel. So he was actually across the street from the Pentagon in a building in a meeting. I didn't know this. I just get this page and I'm like going, oh, it's yeah, I didn't mind at all. I thought it was funny. And it was 3:30-ish in the morning. So I pick up the phone and called. And I said, yeah, Chip, what's up? I thought it was like almost something funny, and he's a time zone. So I'm like, hey, and he goes, He goes, first thing he says is, they blew up the Pentagon. And I said, ha 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 ha. Yeah, and this is Godzilla's pizza. That's what I said. He says, no, really, turn on the news. So I flipped on CNN. And he says, what do you see? Because he said that he was in a building across the street and stuff was shut down. And so he wasn't getting the news. They weren't getting the news in that room. And I said, well, I had the TV on. I said, well, I see the World Trade Center. It looks like it's kind of smoking on the top. Kind of looks like you strike a wooden match and you blew out the flame and it's still smoldering. It's burnt on the top, but it's smoking. Kind of looks like a burnt match going on there. That's what I see. It's showing on the TV. And then it dawned on me. Wait a minute. Aren't there supposed to be 2 towers? Because there was only one. It's like, aren't there supposed to be 2 towers? And as soon as I realized that, the tower came crashing down. The second tower. So, that's what I saw live on CNN, to give credit. And I was talking to him, and he was saying that, yeah, there was a bomb at the Pentagon thing, which they didn't know it was a plane that hit at the time. It just blew up. And I was saying, wow, this is like Pearl Harbor all over again. Then I said, wait a minute. This is worse than Pearl Harbor. See, because Pearl Harbor, that was a military target. Although they did spill over, yeah, but they're basically military attacking military. This was civilian. So I was like, right there, right when it happened, I'm saying, yeah, this is even worse than Pearl Harbor. This is an act of war, I said on the phone. It's an act of war. And that's my 9/11 story. The rest of it is like watching it fall down over and over again all day long, because you just can't believe it, and you're watching all day the same thing on CNN all day, of this same replay of the tragedy all day long. So if you want to honor Patriots Day, instead of waving a flag and getting all nationalistic, think of how you learned about it. Think of what you originally felt. Think of what you originally thought. And think about what you think about it now. 3,000 people died, about. That's about how many people went down in, the USS Arizona. It's about, it's like similar to Pearl Harbor attack. Amount of casualties. So, before we get nationalistic and say this and that, anyways, okay, as you can see, hang loose, but it's a little bit more, let's get in with the news. Today, September 11th, 2020, Star Advertiser, toxic culture of fear. Thank you for that headline for today. Gotta be something, right? You gotta have the newspapers. You gotta be forgiving, because that's their job. This one, toxic culture of fear, is about the Department of Health. Because you remember how they fired everybody and people were going on leave, or the Republican whistleblower, you're not doing your job, like she wants the governor job. She's definitely vying for something. It's like Republican get them kind of stuff, but they were down on their asses. And the state, look at it says, the Department of Health whistleblower, right, she said, we're understaffed, cried in a bathroom after meeting with Dr. Sarah Park. So This is stuff that's going on. The whistleblower Jennifer Smith, epidemiologist, is suspended Friday for speaking out on the understaffing of contact tracers. Says the DOH, Department of Health, fostered a toxic culture of fear that impeded the work of investigators to stop the spread of the virus. Management culture of bullying, shame, and blame fosters a culture of fear, not solid science, that is essential to ensure Hawaii's public health. She was forced to leave the department due to a faction protecting Dr. Sarah Park, the state epidemiologist blamed for failing to build a robust testing and contact tracing program. Park was placed on paid leave the same week as her boss, director Bruce Anderson, retired permanently. And then when she got on there, she left too. People, it's time to get together. This type of stuff, and if they're understaffed, hey, accept it. Hey, it's like, hey, yeah, we're understaffed, and be clean. It's time to be transparent. This is the thing. The transparency's not working. And you gotta understand that it's a pandemic. It's a giant worldwide plague. And it's not bubonic plague where 1/3 die, but it spreads and acts and behaves the same manner. It spreads like that. It pops up over here and it waves over here. It comes in over here, goes over there, it spreads over there. One person goes over there, it's over there now. That's what it's doing. And of course, once it got hold in Hawaii and started getting big, it overwhelmed the department. And of course, they're going to be understaffed. No matter how many people they did have, they're going to be understaffed. And of course, it's going to be frustration and fear and, oh my God, what did I do? But this, I'm trying not to swear, stuff messes it up. And the same thing's happening all over America. So, now that's a big, broad, general statement, but you'll see. I guess it's going to be longy. Cases, 169. 169? You know what that's for? 169. What is happening? So, they got their hotel isolation for people who can't stay at home. Grocery store in 1958. In fact, supermarket had it going on ever since. 500,000 evacuate, deadly flames, death toll, Hawaiian wildfire, 10. Virus takes toll on ceremonies. Democrats. Nursing home workers eyed outbreaks, victim of shootings, $1 million of Taliban. Shit. And other stuff going on too, like 2012 for. We're in hurricane season, and we got something else coming by. Typhoon is gonna hit Japan and shit. And this guy in Death Valley is sticking a block of ice on his head with a sign reading 130 degrees Fahrenheit in Death Valley, California. Nursing home outbreaks and all this stuff. Okay. Panic again, gets Peru, huge fire, poured, boom, black smoke, boom, 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 boom. The world's going boom-buddy boom boom and boom-buddy boom boom boom. Fires and all kind of stuff. And you have election time. That's right, children. Because don't they treat us like children? Of course, we love it though, don't we? Hawaiian election general, your mailbox is your ballot box. Vote, 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 vote. Do it. Vote your conscience. Vote who you really. See, I'll tell you one thing to remind, if you don't remember. The U.S. Constitution, the real document, the big document, U.S. Constitution, it guarantees a secret ballot for you. So basically, you can vote for whoever you want. And don't tell anybody. Matter of fact, It's unpatriotic, I might say, if people ask you who you vote for. The U.S. Constitution guarantees a secret ballot, so it's secret until you open your mouth saying who you vote for, or who you, unless you like lying. Well, we're in a culture of it. Who you gonna vote for? I'm voting for that person. I got my fingers crossed behind my back. Don't. It's like, just saying the U.S. Constitution guarantees a secret ballot. Shut the bleep up about who I'm gonna vote for. Now you can kind of tell, but people just rally. It's like everybody got. You see, it's not like the voters are supposed to be telling everybody who they're going to vote for. They campaign, and you put a secret ballot. So vote and use what you choose, because this is America. This is like we make this work. That's what I'm saying. And now, as we approach, do I have time? Yes, this is probably going to be a long set. Well, it's 9/11, so, right, Bucky? How many dead are from the coronavirus? Bucky's having a big party. There's 2 reports right here. One's out of Michigan, one's out of Washington. And we're tick-tocking away. That one's going to be a long time. Microsoft reporting reveals Russians meddling. Microsoft. Use a computer, has Windows. Microsoft. Bill Gates Foundation, run by my wife. Microsoft. It's a sweeping plot to sow distrust. I'll read it. Out of Washington, the Trump administration Thursday charged a Russian national in a sweeping plot to sow distrust in the American political process and imposed sanctions against a Russian-linked Ukrainian lawmaker accused of interfering with the U.S. presidential election. Now, this is the past one. So let's change reels and do the time warp. Let's do the time warp. Wait, maybe try that again. Let's do the time warp again. It's just a jump to the left. Or is it the right? Don't matter. Time's warped anyways. Little time machine thing. Alright. So back to Microsoft in Washington, D.C. How did they get into the U.S.? Okay. You heard this before, but in cyber intrusions, forward influence, and operations that define the 2016 White House race remains persistent concern today. The White House race? Well, they're interfering with the election, and how do they do that? They also reflect a dichotomy in the administration. Okay, so now the White House itself is like kind of dividing itself. On one hand, they're taking aim at the Russian interference, the one with the Biden, I guess, interference in the political process, even as Donald Trump expresses doubt in the meddling. So he's telling them, I doubt it, I doubt it, I doubt it, to the people. Why? President Trump expresses doubt about meddling. In the case of sanctions, officials denounced as advancing false narrative auto recordings that had been released by a Ukrainian parliamentarian promoted by Trump on Twitter. The Ukrainian guy who was putting stuff out about candidates, and which would be Biden, and Trump is retweeting. So that's the game plan. He's retweeting the junk that they're putting out. So not only that they're meddling, it's like the president retweets the stuff. Okay, it gets denounced, it gets put off the thing, but he takes it and retweets it. Because it's for him, if he destroys his opponent, that's the political game. The criminal charges accuse Artem Mikhailovich Lifshits. Yes, Lifshits. Artem Lifshits, of serving as a translation manager in a Russian effort since at least 2014, trying to disrupt the political system of the United States and other countries to spread distrust about the candidates. Members of this project called Project Latkalata. So Lifshits is part of Latka. It's like a thing that came in 2014. There's a group of entities, Internet Research Agency, a Russian troll farm, charged by Special Counsel Robert Mueller with stirring up discord before the 2016 election. Stealing identities. They steal identities, open fake accounts like at banks. Fake accounts with fake citizens in the bank system. Digital currency exchanges. Oh, cryptocurrency, help me. The goal of the department where Lifshits worked as to sow discord, incite civil unrest, and polarize American social media posts that touched hot button topics, including gun rights, IRA, where's my gun? They're taking my guns, right? The Confederate flag, oh, the institution's racist, they're some Confederate flag, oh God. And race relations. Authorities said the Justice Department complaint does not accuse Lifshits or other Project Latte members of promoting a particular candidate in the 2020 race. So they're not promoting someone specific. Many of the messages in social media responded complaints were early in the Trump's oh God. Okay. Lifshits was one of 4 people cited Thursday by Treasury Department, including Andriy Durkach, K-A-C-H, Durkach, a Ukrainian lawmaker who was characterized by the U.S. government as an active Russian agent. So this guy's from Ukrainian, but he's actually an active Russian agent. So it's Russia for over a decade. So there's no two bits about it. Okay. False substantiated narratives. Okay. Meanwhile, the narrative on the rally. Michigan is a vital electronic battleground. They're trying to crack the blue wall. The blue wall state. You know what? I'm going to ditch that. I kind of, even I'm getting a little sick on some of this stuff. We have a death of a teacher, and because of state laws, they won't say how the teacher died, but it's freaking people out. How are you going to spend your... are you going to go to the beach if you can go by yourself? You're going to go to the hiking if you go by yourself? Would you make solo visits to the beach and or park as allowed under Oahu's extended lockdown? 38% yes. I just did. I should check out the video. 18% maybe. Chafing at solo restriction. 44% no. Pointless and totally opposed. It's like divided. Smoke in California detected in Hawaii. We have a coffee beetle. So now there's this little infectious beetle in Hawaii getting the coffee beans. What's not to fear? Highest unemployment rate. Wait, I think I looked at this stuff. El Nino could produce more storms. And we're in the storm thing. What? Don't forget to vote. Oh. Right, I already did that. So let's try to do. Oh, here we go. Oh, God, this is long. Okay, sorry, guys. Other people have endured worse. I was born September 11th, 2001, so was I. National Epidemic of Fear. Let's read a couple of these. I'll try to be short. I'll truncate this one. Health resolve crisis, then fix economy ones. They need to support to get us through this health crisis And once we have a good handle on the virus, we need our business leaders to get us through the economic crisis in that order. The health one first, then concern the business. And similarly, state paying price for reopening too soon. Joey Lee Waiparo. My concern about stay-at-home order given by Mayor Kirk Caldwell for 2 more weeks. I blame both the governor and the mayor for what is happening to our island right now. Both of them let up because we have the lowest outbreak of the coronavirus. They let it up. They let up the eased up. Both of them decided to reopen our state. Look at what our state has become. We now have one of the highest percentages cases in the nation. See that little, it's low numbers, low until. Alright, then we'll end with this guy. Who is Ben Toyama, 5th of the 60th 9th Division Infantry Division, Pepah Beach. Ben. Trump's losers rhetoric reopens war wounds. I am a Vietnam veteran. I served for a year in Vietnam and left behind a lot of dear friends and my best friend, Roland, in May 1967. It took a long time for me to get rid of the pain and anger I carried around for the reasons I could not understand as a 22-year-old. In November 1967, I came home to the anti-war protesters who called me a baby killer, sucker, and loser for fighting that war. There was a lot of pent-up anger and regret for serving my country at the time, and I was ashamed to tell people I was a Vietnam veteran. But time as a way to resolve old wounds and soften the hurt. The report that Donald Trump, he is not my president, called the wounded warriors, the fallen heroes, and veterans losers and suckers, have reopened the old wounds. And I cry. And he cites the Trump denies account of him calling you it, because Trump's denying it. I said that? No, I didn't say that. Oh, I knew about the virus all along, but I was saving the people from being panicky. Like I'm treating them like children. Transparency. I cry for my family currently serving in the military, the friends, the family who never made it back alive, and for our great country. Ben Toyama, 5th of the 60th 9th Infantry Division, Pepah Beach. Yeah, I'm sure the soldiers love you, Trump. You're a loser because you got killed. You're a sucker because you got captured. What an asshole. So, I guess that today is a good day to reflect on what America really is, rather than the peripheral of what it's become. True America, the government, the United States of America, is the people collective, not the idiots in office at this time. And truth, transparency, truth with kindness, not brutal truth, truth with kindness. Because how are you going to heal from this when they're creating more? Anyhow, for all those citizens that died in that attack 19 years ago, may you rest in peace and may God rest your souls. But for the survivors, don't become the enemy. Anyhow, aloha and hang loose. Aloha.